It's Rivers, none other here. Oh, and using the pink-red Luigi. This is one of my favorite Luigi skins as well, by the way. He's got his work cut out for him. They got their work cut out for them now going up against Rivers. This is the true test now. You made it all the way up to winter semifinals. Let's see if you can take it up against one of the world's finest. I'm just going to keep calling him Thisgod326. It's only 3 syllables.
That's a Luigi.
Yeah.
He's got to make a believer out of me first. And in this kind of a matchup, it's going to be rough doing.
Testify!
Like, Luigi, much like against any other character, if he's consistent with his combos, grabs are lethal. Even at later percentages, just a simple hit confirm can be lethal. The hard part is actually getting in, and you need to be on the stage to do any of that. Rivers isn't going to be allowing that.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I could already go off on, like, Luigi's offstage presence being what it is, but what we saw right there from Rivers has nothing to do with that. He does that to any character, no matter the shape, size, or tier spot of that character, no matter what. Already not too good of a start for Thisgod326 so far, but definitely got to climb that mountain a little bit. Game just started, and Luigi, I feel like he's got a little bit of a work cut out for him. I feel like Luigi used to be able to, like, break out of a lot of Diddy's combos fairly easily with that nair, which he still can, but, you know, Diddy and Rivers and Tweak have been pushing this character, and especially their punish game, so long that I feel like they're definitely going to know how to work around something like that.
I mean, even before them, plenty of solid Diddies have been pushing this character ahead. The problem is that there's so many people that are qualified pushing this character ahead that there's so many different things you have to prepare for in fighting Diddy Kong. And Luigi's kind of bereft of mid-range neutral tools. Like, if Green Fireball's not able to lock down space effectively, that's kind of a wrap. Like, you're working off of really heavy reads in neutral and just taking advantage of back air for as good of a disjoint as it is, but it's not good enough. At least it's not showing to be so far. Zervis has taken only 63% as he still sits on his first stock.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with that more. If you're not able to control any bit of space against a character like Diddy Kong who can spawn his projectile with your own horizontal projectile, what are you gonna do to get in on it? What are you gonna do to get in on against Diddy Kong? You gonna jump in and try to, like, jump above the banana to get around? You're Luigi. You have the second worst airspeed in the entire game. You're not gonna be able to do that. If anything, by jumping up there when you don't have to and putting yourself in the air, you're just putting yourself in a disadvantageous spot against Diddy Kong to just eat a banana right in the face where you don't want to. So I couldn't agree more. If Luigi doesn't know how to control that space, he might have a bad time.
You know, building on that even further, a lot of Luigi's game, just his good buttons in general, require him to have his feet on the ground, or even just be able to land safely. As proven by Game 1 going in Rivers' favor, that's going to be a very tall order to meet.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those matchups where Luigi can definitely still do his Luigi things, of course, but I feel like he's got to, like, be a lot more patient with it, you know? He can't just run in with that grab, run in with that forward air. Oh, I want to get these meaty hits on this character. Now you're fighting against one who can spawn a projectile that stuns you for a second. You'll be eating those punishes yourself if you're not willy-nilly. Like you mentioned, feet on the ground, that's so huge for Luigi, and when your feet are on the ground against Diddy Kong, you gotta play Diddy Kong's neutral. And
yeah,
that's not fun.
That's the hard part about this matchup as a whole, is that, like, Banana controls so much ground space. If Diddy Kong commits to controlling the base platform, you have a lot of work ahead of yourself. On top of that, like, a Diddy Kong like Rivers is going to be moving around very frequently. You have to try to match that out with buttons. Unfortunately, Monkey Flip Kick is going to be trading with Luigi back air anytime. So I feel like playing out of shield is the best bet, but even then, like, Luigi has a very good time with being able to, Diddy Kong rather, has a very good time with being able to lock you in shield and pay the price for shielding.
Yeah, I feel like as long as Diddy Kong just really watches his spacing in this matchup, doesn't do any of the obvious, like, overextension blunders against Luigi, like just running in on a shield or anything, he shouldn't have too hard of a time at least in the neutral factor of this matchup, which I gotta say is why I think Thisgod326 decided to go to a stage like Smashville, smaller stage, smallest current one that we have in the legal rule set. He probably literally just wants less stage to deal with Diddy Kong's neutral, like less ground that he has to really make up against him. And I think you can already tell, Hangman, the game's already a lot more even than it ever was in that first match. So far, so good for Thisgod326.
Yeah, no, stage-wise, I think this is an excellent pick, and it's showcasing that pretty quickly. But the big deal is not just keeping even, you have to be able to win. Some Green Tornado is going to be locking off the ledge even further, and I feel like if you can't use Banana effectively, just toss it away. Don't let Rivers have it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I couldn't agree with that more, really, as the down smash is going to take the stock. Good coverage right there. You know, just thinking he might roll in the situation. Why not just throw something like that out? High percent, but wound up working out for him, so this is God with a lead for the first time in this set.
Alright, maintaining that lead. It seems like as he's playing out of shield, yeah, that's probably the safest thing that you can be doing here. Like, you're not going to get the biggest of punishes out of shield, and you have to be careful about swinging out of shield, because Diddy Kong's going to swing harder. But, like, playing it out defensively against Diddy is probably your best bet when you yourself are a very, like, heavy-handed brawler of a character. Like, you want to be able to stay in, but Diddy Kong's not a character that's going to, you know, really give up control once he's in on you. So, winning out the scramble as Luigi is difficult but doable.
It's a true test of the fundamentals of any Luigi player. It's like, are you just going to run in and holding in against this Diddy Kong because you know you want those combos in and out? Or do you know that in order to keep your feet on the ground, you gotta play a little more patient in order to really just elongate it so you can get that sweet, sweet grab that you know you want? And look again, this is God throwing that banana away once again. I feel like he just wants to as the forward air from Diddy takes the stock, I feel like he just wants to like hold down that neutral a little easier just with like what Luigi's actual moves have to offer rather than use that. So, like, I agree with you. If he doesn't know what to do, just throw it out.
He's managing just fine now, because I also feel like Rivers is kind of struggling to figure out ways around Luigi. Like, he's constantly throwing himself into Green Tornado, and I feel like it's by merit of Thisgod not giving him any other space to land on. He's picking his poison with where to choose to recover. And look at that, Green Tornado 3 times over is enough to even up the game.
Only thing from the ledge at that point on was Rivers not having the patience to stay by that ledge, which was one of the only things he could have done. Very scary situation right there, almost getting the Luigi 0 to death. Rivers holding and SDIing out for dear life to make sure he didn't get hit by that first startup initial dare. Could have spelled the end for this game really quick, but
that
unfortunately
air dodge does.
The air dodge will instead. Yep.
Yeah, wow. That's rough doing, but that was a very well played game too. Just in general, like, locking down the ledge worked out so well for Thisgod.
And not even by mixing up his options too well. I mean, I feel like Thisgod, like, just was sort of going for the no mix-ups there. Because he used Green Tornado by the ledge literally 3 times in a row. He did the same thing 3 times. Exactly. It's like, can you call it a bad mix-up if it's the same thing over and over again, but it works?
Well, the drift of the move allows him to augment if he's going to try to cover get-up attack, because the move is intangible on the leg.
Yes.
If he's going to go for just neutral get-up, which is probably the worst option that he has. And the roll, because there were multiple times when Luigi was positioned to take out the roll. So, it worked. Can't argue with results.
No, you cannot, my friend, but we're waiting the final result right now. Game number 3, winners semifinals here at DNA.EXE. Running it off to Town and City this time around, the other Animal Crossing stage, but this time much bigger in length, which is why I'm just going to go ahead and assume that Rivers decided to go here.
And it's also, I feel, a comfort pick for Rivers, very often playing well on the stage, regardless if it's his counter pick or his opponent's counter pick. Although I feel like this one may be a risky one. Even though it gives a lot of space to maneuver around Luigi and bring the battle ultimately to the platforms in your control, Luigi does have the propensity to extend combos vertically off those plats. So keeping a firm lock on base platform is going to be pivotal to Rivers turning this game around.
And you want to talk about pivotal real quick? There's a misfire coming out from the platform, stuck on it out of the lag of the up B. Couldn't have came at a better time for Thisgod to secure his recovery right back to the stage as neutral is reset. The ledge trap situation for Diddy Kong right now, covering the roll with that banana. What is the option here? Waiting for the re-grab this time around and trying to catch him with a smash attack. Nothing doing. Rivers with a beautiful drift away on the barrel back to make sure he recovers nice and easy. This is looking like a slobber knocker of a game 3 this time around, Hangman. These guys are really reading and playing around each other quite a bit.
Oh, they're looking to swing. They don't really know how to lock each other down, which is fairly uncharacteristic for Rivers, but good on Thisgod for at least staying mobile enough to force Rivers to stay guessing so often. Rivers going to be taking a slight lead, but I feel like even then it's not especially safe unless he really starts to lock down how this Luigi is able to maneuver around the stage. He's also got to find an answer for stop running into Green Tornado. I get it. You have to eventually get to the Luigi to stop the funny business, but he's got to figure out a safer way to do it.
Hey, well, on top of that invincibility on the leg you were talking about, that move also does have a bit of a wind box that sucks you in if you get too close to it. It's why a lot of people do complain about that move in the way that they do, because it not only is Luigi, of course, able to maneuver it and move with it, like you saw him do to take that second game, or basically take that second game with the ledge trap situation, as he unfortunately is not able to make it back off stage without his jump. But it does suck you in as well. So he's gonna have to really think outside of the box and use that move in the right situations if he wants to bring this back, because the score is now 3-1 Hangman. It is not looking too good for the hometown Luigi.
Yeah, no. You know, it's funny to say, but I feel like Luigi's still very much in the running. Not only is Green Tornado going to stop the bleeding a little bit, but you know, there's always the trump card that all Luigis hold. If they do manage to consistently get their throw combo, like, they're gonna get substantial damage out and potentially a kill. Ooh, going for the up air variant.
That was actually the perfect time to even go for that. That was actually the perfect way to optimize his damage output right there. He went for the 0 to death like you saw before. Didn't work. Rivers was DIing away again, and he didn't read that DI away to make sure he was able to get it. And at that point, even if you miss that, oh,
that
a beautiful
was a
jab
really
lock
good
to
stop.
get the game back. Like I said, even if you miss like what Luigi is known for with those patented combos, just keep going. He's got other stuff. If you keep hitting the green button in the right way, you'll get something out like a 0 to 70 combo like you had. Like, see, didn't get it right there, but he's still able to get tons of damage for it. That's Luigi, baby. You know the drill.
Yeah, I don't feel so silly bringing it up now. Like, this Luigi's very much back in the runnings for taking this game 3 from Rivers. And it's all... One thing I do actually want to highlight how well this Luigi's figured out a way around playing with Banana. Game 1 seemed a little bit lost, but, like, consistently taking it and making use of it, especially throwing upwards when at the ledge to hit Rivers, has been really clever. And I think neutralizing that as a tool and using it in your own right is what's making this Luigi so dangerous.
If there's any way that Luigi can use a projectile to cover space in the air, I think it's very genius for him to do something like that, because that is where Luigi falters. He shines on the ground with that neutral, which already in this matchup is not as easy to do with Banana, but if he gets Banana and throws it in the air, creates a no-fly zone for Rivers, and gets a misfire at the worst possible time. No jump underneath the level, and it's going to cost Thisgod326's potential upset against Rivers in game number 3. You saw it here, folks. Oh, Hangman.
That's
No.
rough. There is no other way that I could say that. That's just... You had a 9 in 10 chance of coming back to the stage like a normal person, but you didn't play a normal character, so that 1 in 10 chance robbed you of victory. For their sake, I hope they get the win back. But they're gonna have to work pretty hard for it.
That sucks.
That's literally just bad luck. It's like, they did everything right in that game 3. The adjustments to their combos were fantastic. They played out neutral very well. They saw that Rivers wasn't properly adapting to Green Tornado and took full advantage of it until it stopped working. They just got unlucky at the worst of times, and it really did boil down to luck, which, a lucky break for Rivers. It's going to put him to the first slot of Winners Finals, but yeah, no, that's... I'm sure someone out there is clapping for it, but...